That's my new hello. That's how I say hi now. Because that's what I hear out of most people's mouths anyway when they're talking. The second they go, dude, I just heard, and then it's from some source that they don't have verified, or it's a thing that they just want to say to feel like they know something or they're contributing, and in 36 hours they won't care. That's what I hear. I just hear, and it makes me just want to. I just do this while I listen to people. I go, yeah, it's yeah. Where'd you read that? Oh, in a headline. Did you get to the first paragraph this time of said article? No. Oh, okay. Oh, you ran out of free articles that month. Oh, all right, cool. Well, that's just as good as knowledge. And then I walk away. I wish I could do that every time. God, that would feel so good. Whew. Okay. Hi. I'm getting back on the road. Want to see where? Bam! There. Check it out. So, I'm going to Denver this weekend. Shows are at the Denver Comedy Lounge. The link for those tickets is on my website. Or if you're on Instagram, there's a little clicky doodle slick click thing called Linktree. And they're all there. All the shows. All the following: Denver, Boulder, Des Moines, Minneapolis, Davenport, Kansas City, Omaha, Tampa, they're all there. Um, so some of these are going to be one nighters, and a couple are two nights, which is great. Denver's going to be a couple of nights at the Denver Comedy Lounge. I haven't been to Denver 5, 6 years, which I love Denver. It's great. So it's been a minute. So if you live there or have just been there, send me fucking coffee shops that may have opened since I was there last. Cool clothing stores, vintage play, whatever. Just rad stuff for me to see and do. Boulder, I've never been. That's the 6th. I'll probably be in and out of there pretty quick. I'm gonna drive up from Denver, do the Boulder comedy show. That's one show, one night, out of there. And then I'm going to go through the middle of fucking nowhere to get to Des Moines. I routed that drive, and I'm like, this means nothing to even stop at. It's gonna be weird. I've never been through like Nebraska or any of those states, which was kind of the inspiration for all these. I was like, let's find just states and cities I've never done in the Midwest, because there's like a big chunk of that that's just like a blind spot for me when it comes to visiting or even working in. So there we go. Des Moines, Iowa, Minneapolis on the 11th and 12th, Davenport, Iowa at the Renwick Mansion, which I keep hearing awesome things about. It's a literal old actual mansion that they turned into like a hotel, and then there's like a venue or something downstairs. A bunch of cool comics have done it, and I saw it and I was like, yeah, let's make that happen. So it's happening March 13th. Kansas City, Missouri, one night at the Kansas City Comedy Club. Omaha, Nebraska will be the end of that whole run through the Midwest. That's one show, one night. So, in Florida, I've had a few come to Florida requests, and for a good year, I've been like, I don't know if you guys notice this, but you're pretending there's no pandemic. So I've just said no, no, no. uh, and now I think things are, I think, okay there. So Tampa and St. Pete's Side Splitters Comedy Club. That's one night in each of those cities, and then Washington D.C. mid-May. Pretty sure all of those on my website have links to the tickets under the show. I know it's weird that I'm spelling this out, but honestly, some people don't know how to look at stuff and read with their eyes. I I don't know what more, like, sometimes it's like you can highlight the link, put in a different color. On Instagram now you can have like the actual link thing with the little symbol that's universally known for link, and people are like, "How do I get tickets?" I don't know. I don't know what to do. You have links everywhere, and whatever. People don't. It's another. People don't want to read stuff. They don't want to fucking. They read the headline, they read the thing, and then they wonder, like, how did it not automatically happen? How did the knowledge just not get in my head without trying even 0.5%? Weird. Well, just go on like I knew the whole time anyway, is what they say. Pew, that's gone. Pew, that's back. So look, come to one of these. Get tickets right fucking here. You see that? Website, go to that. Right there. Bam. Yeah, that's a toilet. All right. I like playing with these little features. Okay. I've been doing this thing that you get sucked into without realizing it for like, a week, but I've been fucking doom scrolling again through social media. And I think it's just because I've been posting more about road stuff, so I've had to like be on it more, but I catch myself like feeling this sense of like dread and anxiety over all this shit that isn't even happening to me, or like is happening to someone else, and then it's like grafting itself onto me, and I'm just getting anxious over like bullshit. And what's always fascinating about that is like how long it takes before it like really seeps in there and then changes your like fucking whole day, and then the amount of days it takes before you're like, why do I feel like, why do I feel like shitty and anxious and like overwhelmed, like there's too much to think about or try and solve. And then another week goes by and you go, fucking been on Instagram too long, or Twitter, or fucking Facebook, or all of them. Which Facebook I just post the link and I just try to get out of there. It's like like open the door, drop it, and get out without like breathing any of the toxic air, Fucking put on like an actual gas mask and a blindfold, or just have someone else do it. One day I'll just have someone who does that for me. I'll be like, here are the links, post them. I don't want to know about it. But yeah, that's been like, it's been fucking with my head, man. And I'm like not sleeping well. I'm having just tons of stress dreams, and it's mostly because of that. And it doesn't feel like something that really would affect your day. Hi, JCTV. How's it going? Thanks for saying hi. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a thing that should really get in there and fuck with you, but it really, you do get those dopamine kicks, it's like a drug. You're on there. And the other day I was like just scrolling. I don't even know for what. And then I caught myself like doing it and asking myself in real time, like, what feeling am I waiting for? What do I think is going to come by doing, like, am I going to flick the screen and then all of a sudden go, there it is. That's the solution to every problem I've ever had and will have. Oh, thank God someone created that account that was designed specifically to solve all of my anxieties and worries, both emotionally and financially. It doesn't exist yet. There's a part of my mind that's like, it's coming. All I gotta do. It's like those old people at the slot machines in Vegas where they're just like putting the money in, pulling, putting the money, pulling money, pull. They're, they're on the penny slots, and I don't think they've actually thought they were going to win something for like 15 years. I think that's what they do. They get up, they have a cup of coffee, they eat some weird old person breakfast like a fucking slice of pineapple and like one bite of cottage cheese and an almond or something, just some like weird. And then they just go to the casino and they just sit there for 11 hours and they just, everyone I know is dead, so I do this now. All other old people dying around them. That person who I wanted to strike up a friendship with is dead now. And they just do that. That's what I think I'm doing with the doom scrolling. It's just fucking like, I remember a few days ago, I was about to get up and go ride my bike into Manhattan. I'm in Brooklyn right now. And I was like, oh, it's a nice day. It's like 50, which by the way is some fucking new thing that I'm doing where I'm from Los Angeles. I like grew up there, so I'm used to like, 74-degree Christmas day. Like that's my fucking climate. And the other day, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, it's really nice out today." I'm like, "Oh, what is it?" She's like, "It's me like 46." I was like, "Wow, that is nice." And I'm like, "Wait, who are we? What?" I've never in my life heard myself say 46 is nice. You know, that's East Coast shit, and that's what I am now. I spent the last 2 months in, single digit, double digit that didn't get past 30, and 46 is like, oh, maybe it's light jacket weather. I'll go out with a tank top. I never thought I'd be that guy. It's really weird. In Los Angeles, I used to think that 62 was freezing. Jacket. Oh, I'm not walking to whatever place. 62, dude. Go start the car for me. Warm it up. Get the heat going. I'm going to order a parka, have it delivered. I'll see it in the car in a day and a half. But yeah, now it's like today was 50 and I was like, it's hot. Yeah, man, you can adapt to anything. Um Fuck, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, doom scrolling. So I caught myself and I asked myself, what are you looking for? What's the post that could possibly change your like emotional state right now? And it made me like laugh to myself because I was like, when you put it that way, you're like, the thing I'm looking for doesn't exist. And if we were to side by side it, if I keep doing this, just fucking endless scrolling, or I go outside into the physical real world and get on my bike and let some fucking vitamin D hit me and get my blood flowing a little bit, that I'm at least this much closer to feeling the thing I wanted while I was doing this. It took doing that to get me off it, and that was like 2 days ago, and I noticeably feel lighter. But I don't, I just, what do you do? Like, how do you manage? Like, if you don't work in the world of entertainment where you have to constantly fucking post about yourself, the answer's simple: deactivate all your accounts. Done. Throw your fucking phone in a river and get a flip phone off eBay. Problem solved. Hooray, we did it. But I can't do that. I have to be selling myself like a joke whore. um, but yeah, well, like, I can't afford an assistant to fucking do that shit for me. So like, I have to be on there, and I have to like, you know, throttle myself, and that you you don't notice you're doing it. It's like any other drug. You go, oh, I'm gonna pump the brakes here on. I've been drinking a little too much, and then you go like, oh, Saturdays only or whatever, and then, hey, friends having a birthday Friday. You know what? Just this Friday and Saturday. Friday is practically the weekend. Who are we kidding? I'm a grown up. I can handle. And then that becomes Friday, Saturday. Oh, your friend at that party goes, bro, next Friday, you should hit up this thing. Like, well, can we do it Saturday? That thing doesn't happen Saturday. It only happens Fridays. But why don't you just come? You can handle 2 Fridays in a row. There's 50 Fridays left that you can not drink. And you're like, you're right. And then, that becomes every Friday and Saturday. And then that becomes Thursday through Saturday. And then you're like, Wednesday, hump day. That's a stressful day. I'll fucking knock a few back. And that's Wednesday through Saturday. And then you wake up one day and everyone's gone and your apartment's empty and the fucking electricity's off. No, I don't think that would happen from social media. But it's that kind of slippery slope, man. And you don't feel it until it's like too late. I don't know. And I even have, if you have an iPhone, I'm sure Androids have this, but if you do the screen time notifications, that kind of helps. But when you're in the middle of that cycle of fucking that notification that says, hey, you've been on Instagram for 2 hours, maybe time to close the app, you go, shut the fuck up, and you hit the okay, but you're like, fuck you, notification, and you go right back. I wish they would have a thing that after 2 hours it just says goodbye and then it closes it, like that old AOL sound too, even goodbye, and then it shuts it down. But that would go, I mean, it's like what they want. The fuck, like, Apple wants to sell you the device so you'll be on it all day. But I don't know if anyone has any advice on what the fuck I should do to really like rein that in and control. If there's an app I don't know about that helps, shut your phone off for you, or at least the app or something, please God, let me know. But yeah, so I mean, it's weird how much anxiety can come from just being on your phone and looking at all the information. I've been trying to read about, Ukraine and all these different things, and like, you'll open Twitter because sometimes you're like, oh, the breaking news will be there first, and maybe those days are over, because I look at stuff and then you start clicking on the people on the threads, and then you go, oh, I think that guy's making a good point, and then you start looking at his stuff, and then you're like, yeah, he's right about Ukraine having had this conflict and blah blah blah, and the president and whatever, and then you go, wait a minute, who is this guy? And then you click on his profile, it's just some dude. He's not an expert, but you're like, in your head, you're like, oh, I'm on a news site. So you're reading and you think this guy's some fucking historian. It's just like John BG217, and it's like a photo of him and his like fucking dog or whatever in his profile picture. And you're like, what? Who is this guy? So I'm trying to just go to like the, actual news sites, get in, get the info, get the fuck out without like doing this back and forth. Because, I mean, 6 months ago, everyone was overnight an epidemiologist. Overnight, they all knew all the answers to all infectious disease questions and concerns and vaccine stuff and blah, blah, blah. And before that, we were all civil rights experts and historians. And before that, we all knew everything there is to know about the Electoral College. And before that, we really had just like a iron grip when it came to all the information there was to know about Afghanistan and all the other wars. And now we're all experts on Russia and the Ukraine and the United Nations and all. And you'd think that over the years, seeing how many millions of people are just experts on everything. You think at some point some of these things would be getting a little better in terms of mistakes being made and repeated. But what ends up happening is people just yell and scream about how they know everything, and then they get that feeling out of like, I made a difference, or I yelled at that person who should have known better about this thing that I just learned about 4 minutes ago. And then it's out of their system. And then they go back to worrying about their own life in the fucking bubble that that's in until the next thing comes up. You know, we end up like weaponizing our ignorance to just feel better for the day. And I guess that's a form of release I guess people are doing. And I don't even think they're bad people for doing it, but I think people do it just to feel like they contributed or they helped. And then they move on. And like right now, can you think about anything you said about the Electoral College during the last election, or civil rights during like the BLM movement, the George Floyd protest? Can you think about any of those arguments and how passionate you felt? And then think about what you did for any of those causes from then to today. Really. If it was a part of your life and you really cared, did you just do the one thing that day for that minute and then go back to binge watching fucking Foundation or whatever? Or did you mobilize and do something? You know, I just can't anymore. And I want to do it to like save my own sanity and like friendships, because you just find yourself like losing respect for people that are just like, why are you doing this? You don't care. I mean, you care in the moment, but you know, in a week, do you? I remember a similar thing happening with the explosion in Beirut that literally affected immediate family of mine, and like, oh, everyone cared. They had opinions on all things Middle East and Israel and fucking weapons storage and all this stuff. And then nothing. I think 2 people have followed up to ask how things are with my family. And I know there's all kinds of problems, blah, blah, blah. But you know, you can really see how the extent that people care. And a lot of it is they care about the idea that they care. You know, they will go, well, if I do this, it'll show that I care. Then other people will see that I care. And then I'll feel like I care. And then I can not care. And you're done. So before, you know, global information was just like a fucking click away, we actually didn't know. You know, there was the news you read in the paper, but you weren't there. You didn't get to see live fucking cell phone footage of shit happening. So then we could actually claim ignorance. But now, you know, we claim like 5% knowledge and then yelling and screaming at someone who is at 3% knowledgeable. And then we go back to nothing. I don't know if what's more harmful, really, but I mean, it's all happening in real time, so I don't know. But that's how I feel. I do too. I get on my fucking high horse about stuff, and then I go, fuck, I was supposed to keep caring about that issue. Fuck. Oh, well, I guess we'll never clean up the ocean, you know, or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to it's like maybe it's too much. Maybe we should all pick a thing, you know? Pick your one issue, like how celebrities have them, you know, where they get famous and they go, all right, you need a cause. And then you're going to yell about that cause every time you're holding a statue up for pretending the best. Yeah, maybe that would like have more of an effect instead of like yelling about everything to everyone. Like focus in on the one issue that you're passionate about and then go super fucking hard on that. Maybe that's what I'll do. It'll probably actually make me feel better. It's like you know, donating to something like not only money but your time, and like physically go down and like, you know, volunteer at a soup kitchen, or, you know, give your clothes to the Goodwill, like really taking it a step or two or three further. Um, maybe that's the solution. Maybe that's part of the solution, is find the thing online and then take it to real life. So instead of putting my phone down and then just going out into the world, go out into the world and actually affect change somehow. I got to find a thing that I care about. I mean, I have things, but something I really like will go for. Huh. But that's good. See, I didn't have that thought before I got on here and did this. All right. Well, if anyone volunteers for something that you think is where you know the money's going somewhere good and it's like reputable and honorable, and it's not, you know, just fucking throwing your money into some mystery link that is like, oh no, it'll go to help someone, and you never hear about it again. Give me an actual tangible physical thing, like a Habitat for Humanity type thing. If anyone does something like that, or you know, knows about something, let me know. I think that would feel good. That would feel right. That would feel like a move towards something real. And if anyone wants to be my assistant, no, do my Instagram for me. All right, look, I've rambled too much. Let's get that back up here again. This is where I'll be for the month of fucking March and a little bit of April and then May. And there'll be more filling all this in, some Pacific Northwest stuff, and it's all fucking coming together. Go to my website, get the tickets. See you soon.
It's the end of the show. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't be a dick.